Now there's no music. So welcome back, or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. We're going to be in a low wave, and we're going to do legs. Come. Deja vu. So great to land, arrive, settle in. Feel the sense of you and unpack your shoulders. So lift one elbow and then drape your shoulder and elbow down, and then lift the other elbow and bring it down. And do the same thing with the pelvis, like lift the pelvis up on that side and then like spread the back of your body down, and then do the other side, and then lift your toes and your feet, keeping your heels on the floor, and then spread your feet out on the floor. And then feel your arms, and either have the backs of your hands facing the ceiling or your palms face down, and just feel that you're stuck to the floor. I love those images of your, how do we know that this is upright? The people in Australia, they're not upside down. They feel exactly as we do. So that sense of our back is stuck to a planet, and out in front of us is the entire galaxy, the entire universe. Just feel that. Back is to the floor. Gravity is pulling you backwards. You're hanging onto a rock in the middle of space. How amazing. Great. So squeeze your right knee up towards you. Hug it in. Just get a sense of your right leg and how it connects into this movement, how your belly feels. And then stretch your right leg long so it floats just above the floor. And then bend your knee up towards you. Squeeze it in. And stretch it long. Bend your knee, squeeze it in. Stretch it long. Bend your knee, squeeze it in. Stretch it long. Nice. Other side. Squeeze the left knee up towards you. Hug it in. And get a sense of this hip. Spread your back on the floor again. That left foot on the floor. Keep it connected. And then lengthen out. And bend your knee. And lengthen out. Bend your knee. Lengthen out. Bend your knee. Last one. Lengthen out. And bend your knee. Nice. Bend both knees. Squeeze both knees up towards you. Bring both toes to the floor. Both knees up towards you. Squeeze them in. Toes to the floor. Knees, squeeze. Toes touch. Knees, squeeze. Toes touch. One more time. Knees, squeeze. Toes touch. Nice. Stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Stretch into your heels. Have a sense of your legs. Draw your toes down towards you and try and create space between all of your toes. And keeping that space in your toes, draw a circle with your feet. So you're changing the relationship of all your toes to each other, and then you're trying to roll your ankles in space. And then circle in the other direction. Toes are still spreading as you roll in a circle. So do the same with your hands. Open your hands really wide, like the space between your hands, and then draw a circle with your hands, keeping your fingers really wide and open, and feel how, even with your hands, that's a new organization. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. And then toes and feet moving together. Having fans of feet. So your toes are wide, your fingers are wide, and then change direction. Nice. Make fists out of your toes, fists out of your hands. So open them wide, fists. Open wide, fists. Open wide. Nice. Shake out your hands, shake out your feet. Nice. Bring your arms to the floor beside you and push your fingertips into the floor so there's a sense of solidness with your fingers. Then bend your right knee and then stretch your right leg long so it floats just above the floor. So same thing as we were doing earlier, but now the other leg has changed, so there's more going on. Bend your knee, stretch your leg up towards the ceiling. So bend your left knee, lengthen it long so it floats just above the floor. Bend your knee up towards the ceiling. Right knee bends out along the floor, bends up towards the ceiling. Left knee bends out along the floor, bends up towards the ceiling. Let's try both. Both knees bend, both toes touch as far away from you as you can. Both knees bend up towards the ceiling. Bend. How far away can you touch the floor? Bends up towards the ceiling. Bend, touch, bend, lengthen. One last time. Bend, touch, bend, and lengthen. Nice. Bend your knees and come into butterfly knees. So as you roll your knees in a big circle, your spine is more or less staying flat to the floor. So I'm not rolling my pelvis. I'm widening into both knees, and then my knees come together. I'm widening into both knees, and then together. Wide, together, and then change direction. Nice. Both feet to the floor. Drop your knees down towards the right. Pause there for a moment. Just let that really settle. So even just holding your legs in the air above you, whatever you're doing will be engaging the abdominal muscles, engaging the spine, engaging your legs. So right now you're in a resting pose, just to counterbalance what we were doing in the air a few moments ago. Other side, over towards the left. And just let that sink and settle into you. Nice. Back up to center. Down towards the right. Down towards the left, and just rock from side to side. Nice. So lift both feet in the air. Knees are bent and feet are directly out from your knees. So your legs are at a 90-degree angle. And then just bring your fingertips to rest on your knees. And then push gently into your knees. And then ever so gently push back with your knees. So there's just this sense of push slightly with your fingers and your knees are going to resist. Okay? Pause there and see if you can widen into your lower back. Flex your feet. And see if you can breathe down into your belly. So it's really just a gentle touching of my knees with my fingertips, but there's probably a lot going on in your abdominal muscles right now. So either drop your left foot to the floor and reach your left arm overhead, and then come back up, and then drop your right foot to the floor, knee bent, reach your right arm overhead. So this is the lower, the less intense version, or lengthen your left leg long, left arm long, come back up. Lengthen your right arm long, right leg long. So remember, you can bend your knee and bring your foot to the floor at any stage. Find your version. Left side lengthens, coming back. Right side lengthens, and coming back. Nice. Left side lengthens, back up. All the time when I reconnect, I'm pushing my fingertips gently into the tops of my knees. One more time each side. It's getting harder to speak. Feet to the floor. Oh, that was intense. Nice pause. Super. So draw your right knee up. Hold on to it with the left hand. Push your right elbow into the floor and stretch your left leg long. So I'll say that again. Right knee is bent. You're holding on to your right knee with your left hand, and then push your right elbow down and twist over towards the left with your right knee, and then come back to center. Over with your knee to the left, and then back to center. So I prefer it when my elbows are on the floor, when my body is doing the movement itself, rather than me pulling my body into a shape. So just see that. Which do you prefer, holding on to your knee with your hand or both elbows on the floor? And just repeat the twist a few times. Over towards the left with your right knee, keeping that right shoulder deeply on the floor. So when you're twisting, something has to anchor and something else has to move in a different direction so that there's a spiraling. Whereas if my right shoulder moved, I'd just be rolling over. Nice. Change sides. And just bring both feet to the floor, lift your bum, lift your shoulders, come back into alignment, and then squeeze the left knee up. Stretch the right leg long. So you can hold on to the left knee with your right hand and push your left elbow into the floor, and then twist over the knee, and then come back. Over, and then back. I'm going to do it again without my hand on my knee. There's such a different shape in my body when my leg does it itself. I feel much safer in the movement because my spine is moving itself and deciding itself how far it wants to go. Whereas as soon as I add weight or I add pull, then it's responding to an external force. Whereas here, it's really deciding its own shape of wellness, which is actually really cool. One more time. And come back to center. Both feet to the floor. Lift your bum, lift your shoulders, and have your feet quite close. From here, draw your right knee up and bring your right elbow to your right knee. I've interlocked my fingers. I like it. And then as you lengthen your right leg long, lift your bum in the air and reach your arms overhead. Zoomies. Bend your knee, touch your knee to your elbow, lift your bum, lengthen long into zoomies. So find the most satisfying way of creating a zoomy, long belly, bum lifting, arm lengthening moment in your body. So for me, the more I kind of squeeze into my thighs and feel like I'm pushing something away with my legs, that I feel this sense of really deep connection down into my thighs through the pelvis. So I'm pushing away with my right leg, like I'm trying to push a piece of furniture. One more time. Nice. Other side. Draw your left knee up. Bring your left elbow to your left knee. Zoomies. And as you do this again, find that way of connecting. Might be that you're moving through honey. For me, it's the sense of pushing something away with that left heel, power of my left leg. And the power in my left leg acts as a catalyst for the rest of my body to also engage. So all I have to do is feel the push of my left leg and everything else is turning on. One more time. Super. Both feet to the floor. Nice. So bring your knees together, your thighs together, and then drop down and over to the left side and interlock your fingers behind your head, okay? And my two elbows are either side of my head as I do this. So my two knees are together and my hands are behind my head. And now bring your right elbow all the way down towards the floor, right shoulder down towards the floor, and then come back up. Elbows together or squeezing down. Bring your right shoulder down and then come back. Right shoulder down. But as I do this, I'm really intrigued by the newness of this movement. We haven't done this movement together before. So I'm feeling loads of organization and learning as I do this. I'm trying to work out how to manage the weight of my head into the front of my shoulder, how to manage the rotation. And yeah, it's just really interesting. One more time. Next time you go, pause. Sinking both shoulders back. Just breathe into your belly. Thighs are together, feet are together, shoulders are wide. And I'm imagining now that I can bring my right shoulder a little bit deeper towards the floor. How would I sink backwards there? Nice. Come all the way back. Come to your back. And then roll over towards the right side and bring your arms either side of your head, interlocking your fingers behind your head. And now draw the left elbow and shoulder back to the floor behind you. And bring your left elbow forward. Let's feel that. It's really different. So we're always finding new ways of doing things in this class. It's like, so for me, suddenly I'm like, wow. My armpit is dealing with the weight of my head. So that's doing something really interesting to my torso. Nice, one more time. Pause there. Shoulders are wide. Feet are together, and you're imagining your left shoulder can come a little bit closer to the floor. Nice. Bring both elbows together. And then stretch your right arm long and rest on your right arm with your head and bring your left hand to the floor beside you, just in front of you. So my left hand is the scaffolding and my right arm is my pillow. And now lift your left knee up, keeping your feet together. Pause there. And just feel range. So you lifting your own thigh and trying to mobilize it is your actual muscular range without any external forces like gravity and the weight of the rest of your body. Now, bring your knees together and lift your foot as high as it'll go. Feel how the rotation in the hip happens. And just rock from one to the other. Knee lifts and foot lifts. And feel the end of the range here. The end of the range is you gaining strength in a place where we don't have all that much strength, actually. So there's a gap in our kinetic ability to move our leg, and it's here. So when you're walking, you don't notice this range, but now you do. Nice. And now lift your left foot up and try and touch the floor in front of your right knee, and now bring your knee down. So now my leg's in the air. So I'm touching the floor with my toes in front of my knee, and then I'm touching my knee to my knee. Touching the floor with my toes, and then knee to knee. One more time, toe to floor, knee to knee. Nice, other side. So come lie on your left side. Right hand is on the floor in front of you. Knees are together. Lift your right knee up and just feel the end of the range there. So you're not rocking backwards to get more range. You're just feeling it's kind of a certain kind of stuckness in the range of lifting your knee. How would you lift it a little bit more? Lean into that end range. Nice. Lift your right foot up. Lean into the end range of right foot traveling up. Nice, and then rock. Knee lifts, lean into it. Learn how to lift your knee higher. Foot lifts, learn how to lift your foot higher. And it's the sense of muscular connections in this direction. It's a bit like a carpet, so a carpet moves in one direction very easily. But can it move sideways against the pile of the carpet? So our legs, when we're walking, is the natural traveling momentum for your legs, for example. There's many different directions that we can do. And so here we're learning to have a different direction that has strength in it. Nice. One more time. And now touch your right foot to the floor in front of you. And touch your knee to your knee. Right foot to the floor, knee to knee. Right foot to the floor, knee to knee. One more time, right foot to the floor, knee to knee. Come lie on your back and just notice. Let's just rock our knees slightly from side to side and just feel how that massages into the range of the side of our hips, the inner thighs, the feet. So we're just adding a layer of soothing movement into the gnarliness of the last one. Nice. And then bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart, hands to your belly. And just think about your Nourish journey. How have you nourished yourself this November? What do you know more about nourishment of yourself? What has connected you this month? Inspired you? Nourished you? So as always, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how this journey has been. You know, how has it been to think about nourishment? Or is that just the side tangent to the yoga itself? You know, or how's it going with your yoga itself? You know, how is it to be going into pause next, deep down onto the floor for the month of December? How has it been to be nourished? Um, so thanks for joining me. It is very nice to be here. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to a week off, which is very nice. And then also I'm really looking forward to, yeah, just a guiding light in the deep of the busy that'll happen. A sense of continuity, that drive of my practice, which is such a resource and so nourishing in my life. So I'll see you all tomorrow for the last day of Nourish. Day 23 is the last day of Nourish. And yeah, have a great day. Do wonderful things, and I will be here tomorrow. Okay, ciao, ciao. Slán.